Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Null Zone. This is the Tardis Zone Talks, and it's been a while. Yes, finally, I'm looking a little bit better, but I'm still not great. But I just got bored, sitting around waiting for whatever this is I have to blow over. But it could be that 100-day cough thing. But as you can tell, I'm not going to moan and make a song and dance about it. I've been sick over the Christmas and the New Year, and it's been absolutely horrible. Happened to me a few years back as well, and that was a horrible Christmas and New Year's as well. But, onwards and upwards, as they say. So I hope you all had a happy New Year. Obviously, we normally do a New Year's Eve stream, but I was so bad. I was actually in bed New Year's Eve. That's how bad I actually was over the Christmas. But I hope she's had a good one. So I decided to take an extra week off because I needed to recharge my batteries. And since I've been away, there's been a lot of stuff, obviously, in relation to Doctor Who. First of all, Chris Chibnall apparently saved Doctor Who. CBR is a CBR comic book, whatever they're called. Anyway, this media outlet has a habit of blowing smoke up Chris Chibnall's ass. So we'll take a look at that. Also, we'll be discussing Mr. Tardis reviews. Mr. Tardis reviews, again, begging for money. Have a screenshot just to show you, but I'm sick and tired of his double standards in this fandom. I remember a few years back, he actually had a go at me at doing hit pieces on people because I was only doing it for the clicks and the views, apparently. And he's actually doing the same thing. But on top of that, now he wants his subscribers to pay for him to look at the official BBC ratings, which we're going to be talking about again today, because BBC are lying, they're fudging, they're hiding the true ratings. They've put it behind the paywall, which is making people like Mr. Tardis now go out and beg for money. But they're holding back the 7-day consolidated figures for the last episode, which was the Christmas special. Millie Gibson and Ncuti Gatwa may be out after 2 seasons. Millie, in a recent interview, says that she is now able to audition. But this was actually talked about around the time that Ncuti was cast anyway. Some people believe that he was only going to be there for 2 seasons. There was even a rumor that it could be only 1 season, but we do know for a fact that it's definitely 2. But do not be surprised that they're leaving after 2 seasons. And also, we're going to be talking about Doctor Who's cancellation, because some people think after they go, the show is going to be cancelled. But I don't think the show is going to be cancelled. They have a 5-year deal, and they will see that 5-year deal out. Obviously, not going forward with Ncuti or Millie Gibson, but They do have a deal with Disney that is 5 years. So for anybody thinking that the show is going to get cancelled, look, I hate to burst our bubble, but the show isn't getting cancelled anytime soon. This will drag on for at least 5 years anyway. And there's talks of a Sea Devils spin-off, which makes absolutely no sense when the main show can't even attract the viewers that you need. But let's get into it. So we'll get into the chibnall stuff first because I want to get this done and over with because I kind of laughed. So the Who Corner put this up and they wrote a good article here about chibnall era and how it gave us great episodes despite great difficulties and how much the era itself changed the show for the good. How Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker saved Doctor Who. Yeah, they saved Doctor Who so much that it was getting cancelled until RTD stepped in. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Well, let us read this article by CBR. I won't be reading the whole article. I'll just be reading little snippets here and giving my opinion. Despite facing more than their share of backlash about their run on the series, producer Chris Chibnall and actor Jodie Whittaker saved Doctor Who. One reason Doctor Who's 60th anniversary is worth celebrating is due to how difficult it was for any character to endure for so long. Making a single episode of television is difficult and costly, let alone an entire season and some specials. But however, most recently showrunner and executive producer Chris Chibnall and the 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker saved Doctor Who from a second cancellation. Absolutely nonsense. They actually were responsible for the cancellation of Doctor Who. It was being cancelled until RTD stepped in. So I don't know where this journalist Joshua is actually getting his information from. But I'm pretty sure if you check Joshua, he's probably one of these shill Doctor Who journalists that will regurgitate this shit. Because we had this shit from Digital Spy, we had this shit from other media outlets, Mary Sue, Pink News and all about how Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall saved the show. They got the show cancelled. They didn't save jack shit. So this article in itself by Joshua is actually a complete and utter nonsense, to be quite honest with you. The show was being cancelled. They didn't save jack shit. Right? They got nearly 11 million viewers in the first episode and it lost viewers ever since. Right? They didn't save jack shit. The show completely destroyed itself because they wanted to push a feminist narrative. And then when that didn't work, then they tried to ship two characters that weren't even originally supposed to be together. Yasmin Khan was supposed to hook up with Ryan Sinclair, but because Tolson Cole left the show, obviously they got rid of that idea. But then because some fans had shipped Jodie Whittaker and Amanda Gill together, their characters, the BBC and Chris Chibnall, his own mouth and other people that worked on the show, I will play around with it. And this is the problem with the current showrunner. You're playing around with things, but you're not actually doing them properly, right? And the audience is going to see through that. Now, even RTD has faced some criticism with the trans community, with how he portrayed trans people on screen. So RTD's whole mantra has been trying to please everybody. And as I said, if you try to please everybody, you utterly fail. But Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker did not save the show, Joshua. They absolutely destroyed it. And when he brought in the timeless child nonsense, he made sure that he had completely destroyed. Listen, Chibnall came in to rock the boat. Now, I don't mind a showrunner coming in to rock the boat if he does it in the right way and does things in the show that make up, wow, I never thought they'd do that in Doctor Who, but well done, that was brave. Right? But they don't do things like that. Right? They do things for shock value. They do things on the superficial level. Right? And fans, and I mean the fans, Doctor Who fans, see right through that. But even the activists who RTD is pandering to have also called him out. So, listen, you know, while RTD came in, right, while RTD came in and saved the show, in fact, he's actually probably made it worse now with the recent stuff. But you said the pandemic almost killed Doctor Who. The pandemic was never going to kill Doctor Who. They were always going to find a way of filming Doctor Who. I hate that excuse. They use the pandemic excuse as well for the low ratings. The pandemic is not about, right? The pandemic would actually have more people watching because we were all locked down. But people rather watch other stuff on TV and streaming services. That's what showed me that this show was done under Chris Chibnall. Right? Chris Chibnall did not save this show. Right? He didn't save it from a second cancellation. He was responsible for the show being canned and shelved by BBC. It was reported by Neurotics, who was right about the timeless child. He reported this before anybody else did. Right? And he said the show was being canned by BBC. Now, if he says the show was being canned by BBC, you could take that to the bank because he was right about the timeless child stuff. He was the only one that actually got all of that spot on 100%. Right? I got details right and all of that. You all know you were all here. Right? But I didn't get everything that he got. Right? But he did. Right? So if he says that this show is being cancelled and some media outlets out there were actually saying that the show is being cancelled, then you cannot claim that Chris Chibnall saved the show from cancellation. Joshua, I don't know why CBR are actually paying you to write articles if they do, but this is an absolute shambles of an article. It just goes to show you that you don't actually understand what's been going on with this show. It's fandom and what's been going on behind the scenes. Under Chris Chibnall, it was an absolute complete mess from top to bottom, right? Chaos in Cardiff happened, there was infighting, and as you know, actors left, like Colson Cole and others. They didn't just leave because they wanted to leave, right? There was issues behind the scenes, and some people felt they had to leave. It's as simple as that, right? So, you're wrong, Joshua. But I wanted to bring that up because I found that absolutely funny that there are still people today defending that era of Doctor Who, and they'll defend it until the fibre of their being. Look, the bottom line is that era, right? And I said it already, the damage was done in Series 11 anyway, right? By the time we got to the Fugitive Doctor and the Timeless Child, the show was already on critical, right? Okay, and that just doubled down and finished the job off. This show has been limping on ever since, right? Yes, people will argue that the ratings have been dipping since the Matt Smith era, since Stephen Moffat. His ratings were up and down, but particularly the Peter Capaldi era, the ratings did start to slide, right? Not as much as they did during the Jodie Whittaker era, of course, but they were starting to deteriorate. This show is actually worn out. It's like all this superhero franchise shit, right? People won't admit it, right? But it is run its course, right? It's run its course. I hate to say it, but Doctor Who has run its course, right? It's had its time now. It should be rested and bring it back in a few years' time. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with admitting that the show has burnt out. That can happen. It can happen any TV show. It's got a 60-year history. Okay, yes, they did have that break during the 80s all the way up to 2005. We all remember the hiatus, right? Okay, it had a break. And when it came back, there was optimism again. It needs another break. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Anyway, let's get this done and over with because obviously I'm going to put this up on screen. So hopefully if I have to knock off the camera just to put this on screen, I will. But I am going to highlight this because I'm sick of this guy. He's doing hit pieces on everybody. Thinks he can get away with calling people white supremacists and all of this. And he thinks he's not going to be getting called out. Now he's gotten called out by Melon Rattler and other YouTubers out there, and apparently he's reacted as he accused all of us of doing. Yeah, it's very hard to not react, isn't it, Mr. Tardis, when everybody's coming after you? But everybody coming after you is justified. But anyway, so we'll get into the ratings. But BBC have been doing some dodgy stuff in concern of the ratings. Now, the biggest shield for defending the ratings has been Mr. Tardis, as you all well know, right? He's been the butt of a few jokes on a few YouTube channels because out of all of them, he is so determined to show, and there's the camera gone. I knew that was going to happen. He's so determined to show and spin how good these ratings are. And the fact and the reality of it is they're not that good. So his latest, I called him out last year, if you all remember, because his car wasn't working and he was asking people for money for his car. And I thought that was bang out of order. It's one thing getting people to watch your channel and support your content, but once you start asking people to help you out, and then he said he put up streams as compensation and all of this, like, it's not even talk about paying these people back, right? So now he's gone out again and he's begging for money, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's begging for money. So I'll wait until this comes up on the screen. So I want you to actually see this, right? This is what he's accused me and others. He shames other people like us. Right, when I'm genuinely stuck, I never ask you guys for money. All I've ever asked you guys is to like me videos, share me videos, share me streams, and then maybe the odd time when you can afford it, drop me an L super chat or something to help the channel out finer. You know what I mean? But that's it. That's as far as it goes with me, right? But to actually beg for money. So the Bar have made the 28-day viewing figures for the week of Doctor Who, the Tardis available to subscribers. But the subscription and the access to the data is $400 a year. $400, by the way, just to get the ratings so we can spin them. So if someone could very kindly send me screenshots of 400 quid, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, he has more subscribers than I do, right? Now, when I do streams, if I do streams on this channel every day, right? But I'd have to do, say, two streams a day. If I was to do 2 streams a day consistently for 7 days, right? For a whole month, right? I'd probably make around that figure. Probably. Now, I say probably because he has 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the subscribers that I have, right? So he shouldn't actually be begging for money because he puts out enough content, right? He makes enough money on his videos alone, right? And that's without the people giving him super chats, right? And he's begging for more money. Do not give this man any of your money, right? You give him money enough when you watch his streams. Look how many people watch his streams, right? Every view there, if they're watching his streams and ads pop up on that, which are more than likely to do, he's getting paid, and he's getting paid well, right? All of these YouTubers out there, I've noticed even with the bigger ones, right? They're stuck for money and all of that. They shouldn't be asking for money. They make super chats alone. The views that they get on those streams, trust me, they're making money. Right? I'm not making enough money, I'll admit that. But I'm not, you know what I mean? I would literally have to stream 2-3 times like I did in the old days to make that money that he's talking about. Right? But this guy doesn't. Because look at the subscribers he has on his channel. Look at it, look at the streams now. His streams are up and down when he does hit pieces. The hit pieces do better, right, than his other content. But he's still making money off that other content as well. So he shouldn't be asking for money. He makes enough. And remember, the people that watch him live then, that will be throwing in super chats as well. right? So the difference here is I don't get super chats every stream I do. I'd be lucky if I get one or two a month maybe, right? But with channels like his that go live and have the subscribers that he has, he's getting more than one or two super chats a month. He's probably getting 5 or 6 a night, and that's just being generous. That's not even being generous. He probably gets more. So the fact that he's asking for 400 quid, or someone, and the whole thing, oh well, if someone has paid for it, send me the screenshots. No, pay for it yourself. Pay for it yourself. How fucking dare you ask for money, just like you did with your car, right? And then he's going around then, and because he doesn't agree with people, he's attacking people in his videos now. By the way, to the people that he's attacking, right? There's a new thing on YouTube, right, that you can check out. Listen to those streams very carefully, right, and take note of what he's actually saying, because I'm pretty sure there's some things that he's saying in those streams that YouTube's terms and conditions do not allow, terms of service do not allow. So you need to be smarter than this guy. This guy had no problem to try to take this channel down twice, and he used the media group and he used his own people to do it. Right? So we know the tactics that he uses. Right? So I'd say to those people as well, when you're calling him out, by the way, just be careful how you word things, because he's that smart that he'll go in, and if anything you've said is crossed the line, he'll use that, and then he'll get people to actually report it along with his report. So be careful when you're calling him out, right? Because he uses every dirty tactic available to him, right? He's tried to take down this channel twice, just him alone. Twice that I know of, right? But anytime I've ever called him out, I get a stream of people coming into me chat or going on to me Twitter account. This is how you know. He has no right to be asking for you guys to pay for him to get the ratings. He makes enough money, right? And people need to start calling this charlatan out. And if you go and look at his merchandise stuff as well, he has Addy posts and all in his merch store. So there has to be some sort of infringement against the BBC. Right? There has to be some sort of infringement. I thought you couldn't use actual official Doctor Who merch and then pass it off as your own because you've done slightly something different to it. You're still using Doctor Who characters. Right? So I'm calling them out. And I'm not calling them out because I'm waiting for a response. I don't actually really care, right? I've asked this man to come on to this channel. He won't come on, right? His own subscribers have asked him to talk to me and debate me because they think he'd absolutely destroy me. And his excuse was that he was afraid to bring me on because he was afraid I was going to do something to have his channel taken down. Listen, mate, that's your tactic, right? I'd be coming on to absolutely destroy you, make a show of you in front of your subscribers, and then rob all your subscribers because I'd show them how complete and utterly stupid your opinions are. Right? That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I wouldn't be coming on. I don't use those tactics. I don't need to use those tactics. I just use facts and logic against you and you're gone. You're done. Right? This is why you're going around now resorting to doing hit pieces on people because you've got nothing intelligent to talk about. So you rather call people, oh, look at this, the biggest white supremacist in the Doctor Who fandom. Oh, because he said someone was a diversity hire. Oh, look at me. Right? Everybody, right? And yeah, he classes himself as some sort of writer. What's his TV credits? Right? I used to write short stories when I was 14, 15 years of age. Right? That'd be better than anything he's ever written. And I can guarantee you that. because my mother reads a lot of books, right? And I wrote a murder mystery when I was 14 years of age. I wrote a murder mystery, and my mother was so impressed that she read it and then she gave it to all the neighbours to read. It's a pity I still don't have that short story. I don't know what ever happened to that short story, but it was about two couples that went away on holiday, and an affair started, and then like the other couple the other partners find out about, but they don't say anything about, and then they plan this big elaborate plot to set the two of them up and all of this. Like, it was great. It was great. There was even a twist at the end of it and all, man, because I loved me twists back in the day. At that age, I loved any story with a twist or something you didn't expect. Right, and Michael is back. Nice to see you, Michael. Michael, the last time, I just want to explain, the last time, I was highly agitated. I wasn't agitated at you or anything, right? I was just agitated in the general fandom, to be quite honest with you, because, people are so easy to just flip, and I hate that shit. And, you came in, you said something, and of course I took it the wrong way. But I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're back. Because, yeah, everybody knows, I don't have fallings out with people. I'm just very passionate what I talk about. But let's move on from him, because I've given him enough time. But all I'll just say to you is this, mate, is that you really need to, cop on to yourself now, right? You're a married man. You've got better things to be worried about, keeping your wife happy and keeping yourself happy, and your way of life happy. But, I just want to say this: you do have some nerve expecting people to pay for your choices. The bottom line is, if you want those ratings so much because you want to be the one to tell everybody how they're wrong, well, then you've paid the 400 fucking quid. It's as simple as that. I would never have dreamed of asking my subscribers, oh, here, I want to get the BBC ratings. Do us a favour to BBC or fudging them. Give us 400 quid, will you? Do you know what they tell me? They tell me to go and F myself, right? And they're absolutely spot on, right? I'm sick of all of these YouTubers. Listen, I'm as honest as I can be, right, on this. Right, I don't play games, right? I don't fucking go around begging every bleeding stream for you guys. All I ever ask is to like the stream, and make sure you have liked this stream, by the way. And if you liked what I've said so far as well, do me a favor, as I've always said, share me streams as well, because it all helps. We're nearly at 2,300 subscribers now. We're only 5 away from, so we've been growing over the Christmas and New Year, which is amazing. So I want to thank everybody that's new, that has subscribed, and I have a couple of special guests lined up for you as well. And hopefully we will have one of them on tomorrow. We have been talking behind the scenes, so I'm just waiting now to see if that's nailed on. If it is, that's 2 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll have 2 streams tomorrow. We'll have our normal one with Queen Charlotte and PD Rich, if they're back. I don't know if everybody's back to normal, but that stream is tomorrow. But we'll have one at 2 in the afternoon, where I'll be talking to a husband and wife team who have teamed up on YouTube, who have done very well for themselves, and have gotten a bit of stick, and articles even wrote about them, like it was back in the day for me when I caused all sorts of fucking a storm. But let's get into the BBC ratings, folks, because there is something fishy going on. BBC, for the second episode in a row, have actually delayed the 7-day consolidated figures, and they're fudging them. And this is why people like Mr. Tardis are back begging for money now, because they put it behind a paywall, the BBC. Listen, to all the people out there that say ratings don't count, Well, why are the BBC so determined to fudge the ratings and hide at the ratings? See, no matter what you think, ratings are everything, right? A show cannot survive if it doesn't have people watching. That's just logical, right? That's just common sense, right? You can't fabricate an audience that isn't there. It's as simple as that. So, it's in everybody's vested interest to come together and demand that the show is written properly so the ratings do start to go up. And may take a while to regain the trust of every single bloody Doctor Who fan out there. But if you have a plan in place and you write this show properly and you show proper love to it, trust me, you will. There's the camera gone again. This is just a disaster. Able to hear me. Oh, by the way, I don't. Obviously, my mic is broke, but I am going out on Thursday with Cheryl. I'm going to pick up. I told you we're on this Hello Fresh thing again. We're back. I actually lost weight over the Christmas. Believe it or not, I didn't gain weight over the Christmas. So what we're doing is we're going out on Thursday because I want to pick up a jacket, a couple of jumpers, and maybe another pair of jeans and stuff like that. But we're going to have a look now. I'm not saying I'm getting one on Thursday, but we're going to have a look and see if there's a mic, because for some weird reason the other mic just completely died on me. So if the sound is a bit dodgy tonight, it's because I'm actually using, I think it'd be the camera now that's controlling both the sound. Yeah, and the missus is looking very well as well. But she's taking the piss out of me because I keep saying I'm losing weight and all of this. She's just taking the piss out of me because, like, I still have the belly though, but it's not as big. I just want to lose the belly. I know she's anyway. Someone married that thing. Listen, no, I never thought I'd get married, right? But stranger things have happened. If I can if I can get married, then there's hope for anybody. Because if you ask any of my friends growing up and stuff like that, they will tell you that, even though I was one that always wanted to get married and have the kids and the nice house and all of that, if you asked all of them if they thought that would actually happen, they'd all tell you no. I was hopeless. I'll admit it. I was hopeless. I had a few serious girlfriends, obviously, but I was hopeless when it came to women. Got to be honest with you, I wasn't. I could talk in a room full of people, but when it comes to talking to just a woman on her own, I didn't have that confidence. But it was only when I got a little bit older, I started to be a bit more confident in myself, and obviously then Cheryl just joined the Doctor Who group that I was running, and the rest is history. So we met because of Doctor Who. This is why this show means so much to me. It's connected. It's interconnected with my life in a very special way. I don't think that the fans out there realise this is why I get as passionate as I do about the show. I really do care about the show. There is no doubt. I do care about it. I sincerely care. Listen, the last thing I want to happen is for the show to be cancelled. But the bottom line is, if you don't have people in charge that don't care about it, then it should be cancelled. It should be cancelled till someone comes in that really gives a shit about the show. Listen, no matter what, the Doctor Who's not a biology class. It's not a gender studies thing, right? It's a sci-fi show, and it needs to go back to its roots. It's as simple as that, right? You want to save the show. If you want to know why there's such issues with the show, that's what it is. You need to go back to basics. You need to go back to telling good stories. It's as simple as that. But instead, it's all about the flashy castings that you've made and all of this other stuff, and what their gender is and what their sexuality is. And that's what you focus on. But Doctor Who fans are not interested in that. That doesn't make them bigots. What we're saying is, if you want to do all of that stuff, that's fine. Go and do it elsewhere. right? Leave Doctor Who for Doctor Who fans. It's as simple as that. This whole thing that, and I used to say that as well. I used to say this as well, but I don't say it anymore because it is true. And we've got to stop saying this. And showrunners need to stop saying this as well, and directors and writers of today. You need to stop saying that all of these franchises are for everybody. They're not. They're just not. Star Wars has a particular fan base. Star Trek has a particular fan base. And Doctor Who has a particular fan base. Now, if you make a show that appeals to everybody because it's got good writing and good characters, good on you. Good on you. But that shouldn't be the focus. It shouldn't be the focus. You're there. Listen, the fans, yes, us fans do understand. You do need, for Doctor Who to survive in 2005, it wasn't going to survive with just Doctor Who fans. Right? In those days, you did need the general audience. And it's still the same thing today. You still do need that general audience. Nobody's denying that. But you're attracting the wrong sort of audience. You're attracting an audience that's not really interested in the lore, not really interested in the history of the show. They're more interested in the characters that you bring in that are going to push their ideology onto the rest of us. Right? And that's the problem. These shows aren't for everybody. That's why the television and the movie industry is so diverse. Right? That's why you've got your romantic comedies. That's why you've got your thrillers, your horrors, your action movies. It's diverse. Right? You've got your sci-fi, you've got your sci-fi horror, different subgenres as well. It's because the reason why they're all there is to suit everybody's needs out there in the world, right? Because people will like other stuff. Like, for example, right? For me, Flash Gordon's a cult classic. Some people might think that's an absolute pile of shite, right? And it is a pile of shite, but it's a cult classic that's a pile of shite, and I love it, right? But there'll be other people out there that absolutely detest that movie. But they're like something else, like Eight-Legged Freaks or something. And I'm like, well, how do you like that movie? That's a shit. Do you know what I mean? We all have different tastes. So that's why there's so much diversity in Hollywood and in the movie industry, in the TV industry, because it caters for everybody. But now they say that they want to make these shows for everybody. But then when they come in, then they're just catering to a subsection of society. So I'm sorry, Doctor Who isn't for everybody, right? Star Trek isn't for everybody. Star Wars isn't for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there'll be other stuff out there that will interest these people that is for them. And that's the point we're trying to make, right? If you want a more diverse TV show with all of the pronouns, the transgender, the sexuality being a big thing, then create a show that's about that, right? I won't personally watch because that's not my cup of tea. I'm a sci-fi nerd, right? I love geeky stuff. So I would stick with me sci-fi. I also am a big horror fan, so I like sci-fi horror and I like horror movies as well. But they're my things, right? And I like dramas, of course, and the odd action movie. Who doesn't? Especially the action movies of the 80s and the 90s. I mean, you can't beat that. But that's the point. This is why this industry is completely hit the ground. Because all of these writers, directors, producers, and the executives that are working high up, you think that this is the way to go, that trying to make these shows and movies for everybody is going to be successful. Listen, it has already shown that it isn't, right? Now, the classic example of this, and it's the example, why I use this example, because I think it's a perfect illustration of when they get it wrong, but then when they do the right thing, right? So you got Ghostbusters 2016, and the movie flopped. Now, I don't care whether you think it was a great movie or not, right? The bottom line is it flopped, right? Okay. Now, the reason why I think it flopped is because they tried to insert a feminist agenda into the Ghostbusters franchise, right? And that's why it flopped. Now, you move forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife, and they go back to basics, right? to tell a basic story. There was nothing spectacular about Ghostbusters Afterlife. I recently watched it again. I still love the movie. A lot of people say the third act is a bit all over the place. I don't care. It felt, this is the big major thing. It felt like a Ghostbusters movie, whereas 2016's Ghostbusters didn't feel like a Ghostbusters movie, right? And even though the writing isn't the most sensational in the world, Ghostbusters Afterlife had a basic plot. It was easy to follow, and the characters, and that's the thing about this. And this is why this movie actually was a success. Is because all the characters were likable, all the characters were developed great, right? And then of course then we got the proper cameos, right? And they came in and it was just well done. Even Egon turning up the way they did that, I have to say I had a bit of a tear in the eye when I was watching it. I really thought it was great. And when they look at him and Bill Murray's face, it's just brilliant though. When they just look, when they just turn around and looking, it's just brilliant. It was just so well done. Was it a spectacular movie? No, it wasn't, right? But it did what it was supposed to do, and it was to win over Ghostbusters fans again, and that's exactly what it did. Now the new one, Frozen Empire, I saw the trailer. It looks interesting. Paul Rudd is going to be the star in this. I definitely think so. But it looks. Look, he didn't get much in that trailer either, and that's what I like about it. But I'm looking forward to that movie now, and it's all thanks to Afterlife. So it is possible to change the ship's course and get things right. But the window for Hollywood, it's narrowed every day. I mean, some people will say it's too late, and I'd probably agree with that assessment. But Hollywood just needs to go back to basics. BBC or whoever's running Doctor Who, RTD, Bad Wolf, whoever it is, you just need to go back to basics, man. Right? But I think RTD has done enough damage now that people won't trust him. Just like Chibs, when he tried to course correct in Series 12, it was too late. It's going to be too late for RTD. And it's sad because, you know, we try to warn everybody. You know, it's history repeating itself, except it's going to be worse this time around. Jinx Monsoon, again, piping up, calling for a ceasefire. Again, I've no problem you're calling for a ceasefire or whatever, right? At the end of the day, that your own personal political opinions, you know, I would rather you keep them to yourself, right? And we saw with Mark Ruffalo, we saw with Mark Ruffalo as well. I mean, he posted an AI generated image of Trump, and then when it gets community noted and he's told that it's fake, then he blames X for misinformation for allowing them to put it up, but you're not taking responsibility for the fact that you put it up in the first place. So you want to blame X, but you're the one that posted it. So you're not taking responsibility for the fact that you were hoping that he was on Epstein Island, because what concerns you more is the fact that you want Donald Trump to be one of those people, rather than actually be fucking disgusted by the people that are actually on that list. So I won't be watching that Mark Ruffalo ever again. Just like I haven't watched the new Indiana Jones movie, or have I watched the Flash movie? Haven't watched that. Won't watch it. Will never watch it. It's just that's how serious I am. This is what you need to do. You need to be calling these people out for this shit, right? Ruffalo puts up a post and then he blames X, but yet you're not taking responsibility. See, this is why society is ruined, because nobody today will take responsibility for their own actions if they're on the left, right? But if you're on the right and you make a mistake, or you say something, right, you're held account. You're held to account, but not if you're a lefty. And that's why Ruffalo won't get into trouble, because he's a lefty twat. Now, all these celebrities that are saying they're going to leave America because Trump is getting elected, is going to get re-elected or whatever, leave now, right? You anti-American scumbags. is what I'd say to you. That's what you are. These are anti-American scumbags, right? So leave. Anyway, most of you that probably spoke up are on the Epstein list anyway, so he's going to leave, but you're using Donald Trump as the excuse so he can get away with what you did. He's horrible fucking, can't even say the words on here because I'd be taken down by YouTube. But all these are is a bunch of fucking disgusting, evil fucking twats, every single one of you. Anyway, let's talk about Millie Gibson. So it's just been announced that a Disney Plus show has been cancelled after just one season. After its viewership did not greenlight a second season. So that could happen to Doctor Who, and that's what I want to get onto, because Millie Gibson in a recent interview has come out to say that because she was asked what she's doing and all of this, and she says, "Oh, now I can go and audition for roles." Now, there's always been doubt cast over whether Shooty was going to do 3 seasons or 2 seasons. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, no, it's 3 seasons because they get the minimum of a 3 series deal. Now, while after Christopher Eccleston, that may have been the case, it's different now because they don't have to worry about regenerations anymore because of all of this child nonsense. So, look, it's going to me. It's kind of going the similar vein, except Chris Eccleston did 1 season. I think Shooty was only coming in for 2 because I don't think he wants to be pinned down to Doctor Who, and I don't think Millie Gibson either wants to be pinned down because she's talking about taking other roles. I think they're gone after 2 seasons. I really do. I think what's going to happen, actually, if you connect the dots, this actually makes sense because it's being rumored that Millie Gibson's Ruby's boyfriend in the show will fall for the Doctor, and that's supposed to happen in the second series. So if that's the case, and then the boyfriend confesses his love to the Doctor, then that would be an easy get out of jail for Millie to get out of the show. I don't think she's going to stay for 3 years. I think she's gone after 2, and I honestly do believe that Shooty is gone because, as I said, I don't think regenerations matter anymore. I know they matter to us, but I don't think they matter to the guys that are running the show now. So they'll get in as many doctors as they want. Now, if they do bring in someone to replace Shooty, if it does not get cancelled, because they do have that 5-year deal with Disney, but Disney have cancelled the show after 1 season. So this is why this whole ratings thing stinks to high hell. RTD and Co, right, are desperate for this show to do well. Well, the thing about it is it's not going to do well. We already got a brief look at the politics that RTD is going to be concentrating on, and it does look like that the trans agenda is top of his agenda with Doctor Who. You even look at recent castings as well and bringing people in specifically for certain scenes and stuff like that. He's just, look, this show is in trouble. If it goes off Disney Plus, it's over, by the way. It's over. Because there'll be no way then, because if Disney decide to pull out, which means then the money is gone, right? They'll still have the Bad Wolf money and the Sony money, but it won't be as significant. And with BBC then obviously taking back creative control along with Bad Wolf Studios, it's not going to last. So, you know, the ratings on the TV are muck already. I'm pretty sure the ratings on Disney Plus are not great. They never show us the ratings on Disney Plus. So I don't think it's doing well. And it's because of RTD's lack of respect towards fans and the stuff that he's done recently. and the way he's been speaking to fans. So there was always going to be consequences, but he wasn't going to listen. And we did try to warn you. I warned you the day that you got announced back. I warned you. I said if he tries to please everybody, he will fail. He shouldn't listen to us. He shouldn't listen to the activists in the fandom, and he should just write the best version of Doctor Who that he could possibly write. But he's done the opposite to all of that. So this era of Shooty got was, even though I do like Shooty myself, right? I've made that clear. This Doctor is gonna unfortunately fail. It's as simple as that. This show is gonna fail because RTD is consumed with an agenda. And as soon as you become consumed with an agenda, that's it, right? It takes over the writing. And let's be honest, if we analyse his writing over the specials that he's given us, some people will argue that his writing back in the day was better. And this is what we're facing right now. So, well, that turned out to be a fake account, JWC Reviews. There was an account pretending to be him. I actually debunked that. He never said 15 million. Someone else had made an account, and I think they got the blue check mark as well, which made it even more confusing. But that was debunked. He never said 15 million, actually. But he has been, in fairness, though, the reason why someone did that was because he has been lying about the ratings. So someone just took it to the extreme level and took the piss out of him. But that was debunked. He never said 15 million, but he has been fudging and lying. He's been saying since 2008 that they've been adding the +4 to the consolidated figures and all of this rubbish, which is a lie. But they're all. Listen, none of them, right? None of them are reliable. Doctor Who TV News now, they used to do the ratings, or they still do the ratings, but now even they've changed the wording above. So none of them are to be trusted, right? None of them. Not one of them is giving you the correct figure. Lee, problem being, did the best bit of investigating into that. And we know for a fact that the numbers are fudged. And this is why we laugh at people like Mr. Tardis. Listen, BBC are not going to give you a job now, right? If they haven't given you a job for the past 5 years that you've been going after everybody, they're certainly not going to give you a job now. So you need to stop shilling for the BBC ratings and to call it out for what it is. Because if people like you start calling it out, then maybe the BBC will take some fucking notice. Which I would say would be wrong to be listening to you Muppets anyway, but they're going to listen to you Muppets anyway. But if you Muppets actually come out straight and says, yeah, the ratings are not great, then maybe it would kick RTD and his team into gear to actually produce something that's worthy of the viewers. But no, you'll defend them and defend them and defend them and defend them and defend them. And for what? You're not ever getting a job off the BBC. So leave it out. That dream is dead. You're not good enough. It's as simple as that. If you're good enough, you wouldn't be doing hit pieces on people on YouTube. I don't claim to be an expert. I don't claim this, that, and the other. The only talent I have is for cooking food and doing other stuff. This is not my usual shtick here, right? But I've given it the best go over the last 6 fucking years, right? But I don't claim to be a writer and claim to be this, that, and the other. Right? You've never succeeded in that, and nobody reads your shit. So get over it. Stop shilling for the BBC. Right? This is what's wrong. Right? You got William Who out there as well, celebrating the fact that RTD's era is going to be highly political, and he can't wait to dissect it. And because you know people are going to be giving out, so you'll be doing your little hit pieces as well. Because you're sad and pathetic. You need this show to be shit to keep you relevant. Right? If this show was great, none of yours would be relevant. Right? None of yours would be relevant. You'd be the same as every other Joe Soap that does a review on Doctor Who. Right? The only difference is now is you stand out because you're attacking those that you perceive to be racist, bigots, white supremacists, and all this other nonsense because they didn't like the fact that Jodie Whittaker was cast as the Doctor, and because we believe that some of the castings were to tick boxes when the BBC themselves, with their diversity and inclusion strategy, actually say that you have to have a certain amount of percentage of people working on their shows, right? So it's nothing but fact that's been given out the last 5-6 years. But you guys have spent it. Oh no, it's racist. It's not racist. Right? It's a fact. It comes from the BBC's own mouth. It's not us that are saying that, they need tick boxes. The BBC are saying they need tick boxes. Simple as that. Right? And that's the fact of the matter. You can't handle that. This is why I can't understand why you defend BBC all the time. Not one thing. There's not one sincere bone in BBC's body. You talk about representing trans people and gay, lesbian, and bisexual people, or the LGBTQ plus community, as they say. But yeah, everything that they do is super fucking official, right? They never actually do anything of merit, right? And they actually fucking disrespect the LGBTQ plus community that they say that they represent. Even RTD, as I said, was recently called out by the trans community, right? It's as simple as that, right? They have no respect. And I'm the one that gets called transphobe and all that. I've been fighting for you guys to be represented fucking properly in the fucking show and all the LGBTQ plus fucking characters, right? Gives them a few lines of dialogue, either kills them off like Chibs did, or it's just to have them in the fucking thing, right? Like that fella that came on New Year's Eve special. Do you remember New Year's Day special, right? Some bloke, oh, my boyfriend's at home, exterminate! And he got exterminated by a Dalek. There's your representation. What was it, 30 seconds or something? There was even a page, Justice for whatever his name was, when he died, right? Superficial. And and he's gonna get called out for it. He's gonna get called out for it, right? Just like Chibs did, right? You're not gonna do because you're ruining their show, right? On the basis that you want representation, but you don't even have the decency, right? When you're ruining the show to do the representation properly. And then the people that are representing will defend it. You need to fucking wake up to all this superficial shit. You deserve more. We all do as Doctor Who fans. Anyway, it's been good to be back, got to say. I've had a lot of things I wanted to get off my chest, of course. But look, if the show gets cancelled, so be it. I'm not going to cry now over it. They haven't listened. They still refuse to listen. So if it gets canned, it gets canned. Look, if they do replace, I said this earlier, I didn't finish my point though, but if they do replace Ncuti Gatwa, do not be surprised, right? Do not be surprised, right? So they've tried the female Doctor. They also brought in Jo Martin, which was the first female doctor of colour, or person of colour, as they like to call them. I just call her a black woman, right? Because that's what she is. It's nothing racist. That's exactly what they are. She's a black woman. Nothing wrong with that, right? They got her in. She did better than Jodie Whittaker did in the years she was on the fucking show. But they tick that box. They tick the feminist doctor box. They've now brought in Ncuti Gatwa, a black man, to play the Doctor. So now, right, they've had the white male doctors for years now, right? This is why they're all there. So there's only one other, well, there's a few options, but the next option, and I'm just going to say it out straight, and you can laugh all you want, but this is a possibility. But I wouldn't be surprised if the next Doctor after Ncuti Gatwa is a trans Doctor. Right? That's what I reckon. It's either that or they're going to have a doctor that's going to have pronouns, right? But they're the options that they have left to them. So he either goes down that route or he goes back to what worked before. which is a white. Now, remember, he did say something actually interesting during the audition phase, right? He did say that Shooty was the last one to come in, but he'd already kind of like decided on who the doctor was until Shooty came along, right? So whoever that actor or actress, if it was just actors or actresses, I don't know who he actually auditioned for it. But if it was only all actors, right, and the actor got missed out, right, then he's giving it to that actor. Or I'm going to say it out straight. He's going to give it to Helena Bonham Carter, but because of the recent noise from the left of the fandom, that probably won't happen. But he'd probably cast her as the doctor. And I think, you know, if you were going to cast a female for the role, that was the type of caliber actress you needed to bring in, not Jodie Whittaker. To be quite honest, that's who you should have actually brought in, someone of that caliber. But they're the two options that are left to him. So it's either a trans doctor or it's going to be another female doctor. Or is he going to go back to another white male doctor? I don't think that'll go down well in the current climate with all of these activist fans, right? So they're the options he has, right? Now, if I was to put me money on it right now, well, we'll see after this series, Shooty series, of how political he actually is on the trans issue. But if he pushes this a lot, then I would be pretty nailed on that the next doctor is going to be trans. Seriously. He's brought this boy generate stuff in. There's nothing stopping him from doing that, right? So mark my words, man. That's your options. It's either another female doctor of the caliber of Helena Bonham Carter, as I said, or it's going to be a trans doctor. The only options he has available to him, right? Now, do I think bringing her in? Because remember, he did say that there was a big role for her in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if he has her eyed up for the doctor. The thing about it is, though, she should have been the one that should have been originally cast before Jodie Whittaker. And maybe we'd be looking at a completely different story here today. I think it's too late or too soon anyway to even try that again. But, you know, these people don't listen to what we say. So, you know, RTD will do what RTD wants to do unless Disney Plus, you know, insist, you know, because they could insist as well. Think about it. They could insist on an American actor to play the doctor to try win over that American audience. And you know, that'd be a worry too. Well, actually, Cheryl actually read out the quote of what she said. She hasn't actually explicitly said that she comes out and support J.K. Rowling. What she has come out and said is she believes that the behaviour towards J.K., a woman who has been a victim of abuse, is absolutely disgusting. She hasn't explicitly come out and said whether she's against the transgender ideology or not. But to the lefty twats, that doesn't matter, JWC reviews. Even if you defend someone, you know, because you've worked with them or whatever, or you like their stuff that they've created, that you worked on, right? Even if you defend that person, you're tarred with the same brush as the person that has actually come out and is against the transgender ideology. So she hasn't actually come out explicitly to say what side of the argument she falls on. All she said is she thinks that the harassment and the abuse towards J.K. Rowling is disgusting because she's a victim of abuse herself, which is absolutely spot on and true. Listen, I loved her in The Crown when she played Princess Margaret. Do I think she'd make a good doctor? Well, if you were going to bring in a female to play the doctor, as I said, that would have been the caliber of actress I'd expect you in, but they brought in Jodie Whittaker. But I don't think the female doctor experiment is going to work now. And that's what Jodie Whittaker has done. And I said this at the time, and I'll say it again, Jodie Whittaker has ruined another woman coming in to play the Doctor. It's as simple as that. Jo Martin didn't. In fairness, she still wasn't the caliber of actress that you'd need to play the Doctor. But in the few minutes that she was on screen that we saw her on, she did a way better job than Jodie Whittaker did in the series that she actually had. But that's what Jodie Whittaker's done. I mean, she said in an article before she left that she left the door open for women to play the Doctor again. And I argued at the time and actually did a stream about it at the time. And I said, no, it's actually the opposite. You've ruined it for another woman now to ever come in and play that role. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, Helena could probably pull it off. She might, right? But the fans out there have already got this tainted view of a female Doctor, and that's down to Jodie Whittaker. It's down to Jodie Whittaker. So Jodie Whittaker didn't open up any role for women. She actually made sure that another woman can't play the Doctor again because of her poor performance and the fact that she'd gotten absolutely terrible scripts. So, you know, they'll eventually wake up and cop on when it's too late, like they always do, right? It's as simple as that. This show, as I said, is limping right now. They're definitely hiding their ratings, which is not a good sign. Could be God. Listen, if Disney are willing to see this through, we have 5 years, right? If they decide, remember, season 2 is already filming, so there's going to be 2 seasons of Disney Doctor Who anyway, right? But they could probably decide after that, right? Obviously, the reaction after the 4 series, if it doesn't get the traction that they believe, they'll probably tell RTD, listen, this is the last series on Disney Plus, right? You've already got it. We'll put it out. We'll promote it. That's it. Done. If that happens, the show gets cancelled. It won't survive on BBC on its own. And that's down to the fact that the so-called saviour of the show, Chris Chibnall, ran it into the ground. You know, if you were to believe CBR, you know, he saved Doctor Who from cancellation. He just compounded it. If RTD hadn't stepped in when he did, this show would be cancelled. And that probably would have been the best thing to happen. I know there was a 60th anniversary coming up, but I mean, you know, you could have done a one-off, hour and a half special, blah, 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 and then just left it at that. But no. This is going to be dragged out anyway. So, as I said, we'll be back probably with 2 streams tomorrow. I'll probably find out a couple of hours before we actually stream. So if you see a stream at 2 in the afternoon, I'm on, and then I'll have the normal stream then, as we always do, from 7 to 8, where we'll be talking Queen Charlotte and PD Rich. But I'm back now, folks. As I said, enjoyed a bit of the break that I had. Still not over whatever this is, but the thing is, I still have my voice and I'm not as strained as I was over the Christmas. So, you know, we're back. We'll ease ourselves back in. Well, when I say ease myself back in, we're still doing the streams that we're doing, but you know what I mean. You know, I will make sure I get that extra rest in between streams and stuff like that needs to be done. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as I said, you know, 2024, you know, I wish is the best, as I said, for it. I hope everything works out for you. I mean, it's been a relatively quiet start globally to 2024, I suppose, because there's been so much shit going on. But trust me, in the next couple of months now, things will start to ramp up everywhere, and there'll be bad news after bad news after bad news. So, you know, enjoy it while they can before the storm as they say. And yeah, apparently we've got threats of there was a fog warning in Ireland yesterday, which I found quite funny because when we were growing up in the 80s and all, like we had the smog and there was never any sort of warnings and all that. Just the news, oh, there's chances of smog here, there. Now there's red alerts and yellow alerts and all of this. And apparently it's going to threaten the snow in Dublin over the next couple of days. There could be a threat of snow because it's that cold. And you can feel it in the air. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if it does start the snow, it's gonna stick. But watch this country. A few flakes of snow fall on the ground, and it'll come to an absolute fucking standstill. It'll be funny. But yeah, this is the fair mongering that they do. It's fucking great. I love it because I love it when people, obviously, fall for all of this shit and you think it's doomsday and all of this. It is doomsday, but not in the way that you think. So, like, leave it out. Right? The rest of us just want to get on with our lives before the shit hits the fan. Um, so yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course go and check out the regular channels that we do throw up. So we've got Gobby Guy, Scottish Diverse and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture, Drawn Jack Rabbit, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Wheel Super, Doctor the Rabbi from another channel, Sean from the Nerdaholics. You've obviously got who else did I say? Rabbi I did. Melon Rattler as well is doing some streams, as I said, and hopefully my special guest tomorrow, Gothic Therapy, will be joining me, husband and wife team. They have, they set up their channel. I think it's nearly what 2 years ago, maybe could be a little less, maybe a little more. I'm not quite sure on them, but they've made a big impression. They're the guys that come out with Shooty Gatwa. It got a bit of traction, and of course the usual stuff aimed at them that they're racist and Nazis and all of this stuff, and they're a Jewish couple. Like it's funny, but hopefully they will be my guests tomorrow. Obviously, when they're streaming, it'll be night time. It'll be the afternoon for me. But it'll be the evening for those guys. So to get them on, see, this is the thing. They're saying it's pretty hard for them to get onto other channels and stuff like that. Because of the time and stuff like that. So we managed. So I said to them, look, before Christmas, said, look, we'll organise something and we'll definitely bring you on. So I had a chat with them, and yeah, that hopefully that goes ahead tomorrow. If it doesn't, it will go ahead in the future, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go ahead. We have banked the time, so I'll get the stream up tomorrow anyway, and I'll let you know. Obviously, if the time changes on it, then you'll know when it'll actually be happening. So look out for that. Who else do I want to give a shout out to? I did mention the Gobster, didn't I? I did. I feel there's someone. Oh yeah, what you call it? Brendan from the Sense Sphere. Obviously, we had Brendan on when we were talking about Doctor Who. He has invited me on his channel as well, so I'll be popping up there. We'll organise that as well. But again, as well, I just want to throw it out there. I do at the start of every year anyway, just to remind people, I am available for live streams on other people's channels. I hardly get invited on channels these days. Just give me a bloody DM if you just want me to pop on and talk. I think there's this perception out there that I don't want to be going on people's channels and talking and stuff, or I'm difficult to approach and all of this. I'm not. If you want me to come on, because I see people that stream here getting invited left, right, and centre, and I never seem to get any invites. I don't know. Maybe I'm too extreme for some people out there, but there's some of you out there that I know that, that have been on here. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is what gives, man. So yeah, I am available. So just let me know. You give me a bit of notice, man. If I can make it, I'll be there. If it doesn't clash with any of my streams, sure. If it does, sometimes if I can get on, I'll try and move things around to suit the person that wants to bring me on and all of this, because it's good publicity and all that. Helping each other out. And that's what I try to do on here, bring as many different channels on, try help them out and all that. Even though I'm a small channel, there might be some people that are listening here now in the chat that guests that I bring on like what they have to say and then end up subscribing. So I am available. Like, I don't want to bite anybody's head off. So I just thought I'd throw that out as I do every year. So wait, you see now, I'll probably get 0 invites now in 2024, but it'll be interesting to see if that changes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will be back to you tomorrow, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. I certainly enjoyed getting a few things off my chest, and yeah, onwards and upwards, as they say. Show's a failure. We all know that it's because of the past 6 years, and JWC Review says cheers. We have real super doctor there as well. We bring back Classic Who, don't forget. Classic Who. I'll let you know. For now, I'm just easing myself back in. So some of the streams will be available, but the likes of Classic Who will be just put on rest for another week or two, just until I get myself back to full steam, and also catch up on a lot of other stuff that's been going on as well. So I've got lots Doctor Who content coming up. We'll be talking almost daily about the show now, because we'll be gearing up towards the premiere of Ncuti Gatwa's first official fourth season. So we'll see what happens with that. Until then, folks, stay safe, look after yourselves, and stop begging for money, Mr. Reviews, because you make enough money. I just want to end on that. It's time that people call this bloke out. Okay, he's a grifter, and that's the bottom line, right? Everything that he accused us all of being, he's the one. It's all projection. Remember that. Anything that he accuses us of or projects out there, he's really talking about himself. See, he's ashamed of himself and stuff, because maybe he was a racist back in the day and discriminated against people in wheelchairs and all of this other nonsense. It's all projection by the left. Remember that, right? They blame us on things that they deep down feel inside, right? Nobody was prejudiced towards people in wheelchairs or anything like that until Use Muppets came along and started telling people that they were. I mean, come on. Leave it out now. The joke's on you guys now. Right? So just leave it out. And I don't even bother doing a hit piece about me, because we've done this song and dance plenty of times. Just stop being a douche, right? And stop begging for money, because you make more money than I do, because you got way more subscribers, and I make a nice little sum that helps me with me electric bill, right? So you shouldn't even be begging for 400 quid. You'd make that. Listen, I don't know if you get paid every month like I do on YouTube, but if you constantly did streams, right, for 4 or 5 days, you'd make your 400 quid, right? Don't be asking people for money, right? And then puts up the other links to other stuff begging for money. And it was the same with your what was it? It was the same with that other site that you are asking people for money as well. You've done this a lot of times now, asking people to repair your car and all of this, right? You've done enough begging in this fandom, right? You add nothing to this fandom, only chaos and all the grifting that you do, you and your pals. Yous are all about, I'm telling you now, right? Yous all know exactly what yous are doing and how to squeeze pennies out of this fandom, and it's absolutely sickening what yous do. And the fact that yous have been getting away with it for years, well, it's about time that yous all start getting called out, every single one of yous, not just him, right? So the people that he interacts with are the same, right? They all grift, right? There was even one exposed getting their friends to put up fake rumors on Reddit, and then that YouTube channel was reporting those fake rumors, knowing they were fake rumors just to get the traction and get the views and the clicks and the money, right? Okay, so they've done it before. You need to be calling these people out. They don't care about the show. They don't care about the fandom. All they care about is the bottom line, feeding their little habits and all of this other stuff, right? And we've heard some stories about some YouTubers out there that ended up getting habits and, yeah, gambling people's money away for reviews that they never actually did and all of this, right? They're all a bunch of charlatans and a bunch of frauds. It's as simple as that, right? And I'm saying all of them. I haven't mentioned any particular name in particular in relation to this. They're all frauds, every single one of them. They grift until the high hell, and the idiots on the other side of the fandom fall for it every bloody time. Right? And as I said, unlike other channels out, I'll call them all out, and it's both sides that do it. Both sides, right? A lot of grifting going on out there, right? I only called people out because they were calling me out being abusive towards me, right? Never did that for clicks or for views, right? I won't sit here and lie when I first started off YouTube that I wasn't concerned about clicks and views, because when you do start off you are, because that's what makes your channel, right? But I got over that very fucking quick, because it's not all about the views, it's about keeping an audience, right, and keeping them happy. And I hope I do that to a certain extent, because I still have people uh, following me today, 6 years later. So I must be doing something right. But that's what that matters to me. The people that are in the chat, right? I value them and value me subscribers, right? And no matter what, as I said, the help that I ask from them is to like me streams, leave a comment in the comment section, and to share me streams as well. Simple as that, right? And then the odd time, obviously, when they can afford it, obviously super chats are available. They're more than welcome to contribute financially to the channel that way, right? But I don't fucking make it a priority. It's never been a priority for me. It's just talking to people, like-minded people like myself, about a show that we're seeing being utterly destroyed, and we've no agendas. Yous are the guys with agendas. Yous have always had an agenda from day one. You just don't like certain people in this fandom that became popular. And yes, I was popular at one stage with this Doctor Who fandom, because the reaction, the negative reaction I got from the other side was unfucking believable, right? And that's how you know, right? Because you got one side defending you and cheering you on, like I've had for the last 6 years, and then the other side then that utterly want to destroy everything that I've created here and I've built here, and I'm still here, and I'm going nowhere. Yeah, that's what it is, JWC reviews. Grifters who exploit stupid people, they should be ashamed. Exactly, exactly. Could you imagine if I asked you guys, listen, guys, I need you to pay for a new mic. I need you to pay for a new computer so we can continue to do streams. You would tell me to go and F myself, right? Right, there's other ways of doing it. I just like say, listen, I will be getting a new computer, I will be getting a new, so don't forget to like the video, comment, share me stream so I can get the views that way and help me out financially that way, right? Because when people watch those ads and all that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm happy with that. Anyway, I just want to say good night to you all and look after yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow, either before one or two streams. Either way, if that other stream doesn't happen, I will be doing another stream because there's plenty of Doctor Who stuff to talk about. And then, of course, I'll have Queen Charlotte, hopefully, and PD with me tomorrow. The movie zone on Thursday, I'm debating whether I'm going to do that or not, but it is still the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, I know Christmas is over, but that was the next movie that was slated, and I'm not letting people down who voted that movie. So that movie will go ahead at some stage. Whether it'll be Thursday or not, I'll let you know by tomorrow. But if I don't do it Thursday, I might do it over the weekend because it'll be a nice little weekend movie to do, and then I'll put up a new poll for the next movie. So I want to get that out there as well. And as I said, Classic Who will be taking it's the what we were on Enlightenment, weren't we? I think so. We got the other parts to do for that as well. So I'll let you know. We'll play it by ear, as I said. Going to be easing myself back into it. Then it'll be full steam ahead and all of that. So I'd like to thank everybody who's joined me tonight: Ezra, Nigel, JWC Reviews, Lindsay. Who else have we got? Real Super Doctor Shane, Michael, Ezra, as I said, on comics, Lindsay, Chris Persia, President Lemon, nice to see you. I still want me free lemonade. And who else? I think that's everybody that I've mentioned there. If I have forgotten your name, I do apologize. But thank you all for tuning in. And as I said, don't forget to hit that like, share, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube, in fairness, I've actually gotten away with the old YouTube monthly scrub of subscribers, but just make sure that you're still subscribed, and make sure you hit that notification bell for any time that we're live. This has been the Tardis Zone Talks on the No Zone. I hope to see you all again soon. Good night. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good one.